Are we live? Are we all here together? Happy holidays, everyone. We're cruising on into the solstice, and we are alive together. Thank you for coming tonight. It's so good to see you guys. Boy, oh, howdy is it ever. It's been a long time. It's been a whole couple weeks here. It's good to see you. Allison is here in the house with her wrench, and so too is Ken with his wrench as well. Brian is here. Good to see you. All the rockin' people. My mom is in the house. Hey, wish you were here. Missing you. Mwah. Missing all of you guys. Tom, Cat, Josh is here, and Ma, of course, also juggling her wrench as well. We have Patricia here, and cheers, and thank you so much. I got so many well wishes. You guys are just the best bunch ever. I'm still getting clear, but feeling so much better, and definitely up to hanging out and looking at some rocks with you guys. I definitely missed it. So thank you for that. And I hope that all of you guys out there are feeling well as well. On the mend or at the height of health, I'm really hoping. And Jahik is here. Good to see you. Yes. Oh dear. It's true. What? Um, and let's see what else we got going on here. Uh, I have my Christmas scarf on, making me feel all warm and cozy. I've got a sweater that my dad gave me a while back, also going on. And of course, actually, I do believe that these horns belong to Lily. But I just borrowed them for this evening, and it's wonderful to see you guys all here gathered together for some rock loving. And so to you, cheers to your health, to your rocks, to all the good things that happen during this season. Wishing you the most. Cheers. Yummy. All right. And so, what we've got tonight on deck for you, as you might have read, I don't know if you read in the description or if you always just count on me to roll out the fun. But we've got some rocks to look at underneath the microscope. We've got a definite sparkling kind of theme going on this evening. We're going to be addressing some fossil material, some more that Blind Squirrel Rocks sent me. I'm always just so over the moon when I get a package from Blind Squirrel Rocks, getting to see some of that wonderful Indiana, really old coral fossil record stuff, and sent me a Druzy piece that just knocked my socks off. I still can't find them. And so we're going to be taking a look at that tonight, and another piece out of that lot. And then I got a package from Lisa, and I know a lot of you guys have been getting all sorts of packages from the rock community. And so I wish I could show all of your rocks, but I really am appreciating seeing all of your guys' different lives and the ones that are going on in the discords and things like that. And so thank you guys so much for sharing your rocks and your packages. And so Lisa sent me some really cool Druzy pieces that we're going to be taking a look at. We're going to be taking a look at some of the petrified wood that actually Diane hooked me up with from a Kyle thing. And so I just couldn't believe how cool they were underneath the microscope. It was like a kind of a whim to, well, I'll just throw those things underneath the microscope, and it turned out to be super cool. And I don't know if you guys got a chance to go and see Kyle's little video from when he went down to the beach. I also had a chance to get down on the beach as well a couple days earlier. And of course, the video is still coming for that. We're going to go ahead and check that out sometime this weekend. But I've got one of the things that I found during that to check out underneath the microscope as well, actually a couple, we'll just see what we get to. And so we're going to be looking at that stuff, and all of it having a lot of sparkly stuff to uh, pull it all into having in common. And what more could we possibly ask for than a bunch of sparkles for the holiday? And so warm and cozy. And these are Lily's antlers. Yes, Ken. Do I feel a sudden urge to eat sunstones? Yes. It's kind of like a possession, I think, right? Oh man, do I wish I could eat some sunstones right now. Actually, I've been taking a moratorium from the faceting machine. I wonder if I'm gonna knock everything over if I like. You can see there's actually, we were talking about this in the Discord. There's a wonderful lava from Bali that is covering my faceting machine right now, keeping the dust off because I've been using a lot of abrasives for jewelry creations. And it is so sad. It's weeping under the lava. My facetron gently weeps. It does. And so we're going to be getting back into some eating sunstones with the faceting machine, and having some facets on, and some tourmaline and some aquamarine and some citrine and some sapphires, and all kinds of wonderful materials are coming up really soon. As soon as we get all this kind of Christmas stuff out of the way, not that I'm like just excusing Christmas out of the room or anything like that, but once we get that kind of stuff out of the way, then we're going to be indulging in some serious fasting. So that is coming up very soon. And let's see. Who wants to bet the burr at the bottom of my drink is the one I need? I'll bet you it is too. And how did it know to dive to the bottom of your drink? Do you have to like quaff the whole drink before you're allowed to use the burr? Is it that kind of thing? Don't drink the burr. Don't drink the worm in this particular drink, though, I would say. And Cody is here and saying cheers and Merry Christmas and thank you. I'll drink to that. Everybody, make sure that you're well hydrated for this experience this evening. And I hope that everybody's environments are cozy and warm as well. I think I did see in the chat that Josh had like 85-degree temperatures, and it was like 65 or something like that now. I mean, envy, big time envy. It's cold and damp and not awesome here. And Soul is here in the house as well. Let's drink to that. Ah, friends, it is so good to see you. And let's see, I'm thinking that's always an urge, as beautiful as sunstones are. Yeah, especially those cherry red ones that look like gushers. It's very tempting to want to jump in and just chew on those. And let's see. Oh, it was just fruit juice. Okay. It's good. We've got a lot of safe viewing this evening. And from Jahik, Kate, for my box today, she was stoked. Oh, I bet she got your box. You gotta love the autocorrect, right? And I know that a lot of folks have been trading boxes and getting in on the Rocksmith spirit. And so, like I said, thank you guys all for sharing your minerally Rocksmiths with all of us. And we have from Bob, thanks for the fossil seashells in my package. You betcha. And I hope that you enjoy the package altogether, all y'all that got boxes. And I know that they were just crossing every which way in the sky, some of them circling. I had such a crazy week with the post office. And so some of your packages actually circled around Oregon literally and then came back to the origin of sending. So they must have been like scanning the wrong barcode on the packages or something like that, went in the wrong bin, who knows what. And so it was somewhat um I guess I could just say amusing or other more four-letter-ish words, watching the tracking information on some of those packages, and so I apologize to anybody who is part of that. I know for sure 3 of you got, like, just hosed as far as the postal guys, and I you gotta feel for those guys. Everybody offer them a cookie 'cause, when I went in to check on these packages, the poor lady in the post office was just like, "Oh my gosh, they're circling, okay," and, started having to deal with it. And it looks like Kyle is in the house and also wishing everybody Merry Christmases. And Kyle, verify, are you on the air at all this weekend? And everybody go watch his beach video. That was a good time. And I did love the big chunk. And I'm kinda surprised I don't have it right here next to me. Thank you very much. I know everybody, like, got their little extras for Christmas and everything in their boxes, and so I got a big hunk of fun from, Kyle, and it is down by the saw. So it is getting ready to get chop, 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 cut, 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 and I know Sandmaker would be proud of that. And all y'all, like, that do have boxes that are still trying to go every which way, I hope that let's all take a moment and have a cleansing breath and just know that if things are late or they're delayed, that are coming, or the ones that you are trying to give, just know that everyone will get their wonderful gifts in good time, and it'll be something to look forward to after Christmas if it didn't happen in time. But uh, some of these things are out of everybody's hands, and so just know I'm a super patient soul. I hope everybody else is enjoying like a relaxed attitude about the holidays. Some people really have a hard time during this time of year for all sorts of different reasons. And so, just being the calm and the big hug in the room and the big smile, that goes a long way. That's a wonderful gift to give if you can. Patience, understanding, forgiveness, all those good things. And so hopefully everybody is having a chillaxed Christmas too. And I think it's like is it solstice eve? I can say the word. And so Mary on that as well. Like we're going into uh the longest, you know, but that means we're turning the corner and we're going back into more light. And this is always exciting to me. Plus, we've got the king tides and the biggest tides going on over here. So it's quite the powerful time of year. And so here goes the answer to that after my soliloquy. Oh, yes, I will be live at some point this weekend. Not sure what I'll be doing, but I'll be feeding the algorithm. Okay. Well, fantastic. We'll keep our eyes open for Kyle doing his live streams. We definitely have a work live stream coming up where you've seen it before when Rufotris and Julie and Jahik and Ryan and Melissa and myself and others that are part of the community get together and do a studio live stream where we're just working. I know a lot of people will be like busy little elves this weekend. And so if you want to come take part in that, definitely not only keep an eye out for it, but you're welcome to reach me. I'm going to go ahead and host one at least. Reach out to me, and I will include you as far as getting you up on the video screen as well if you'd like to participate. Or you can just work in your studio along with us. That's kind of the idea. Is like it's just all more the merrier kind of stuff. And congratulations to James, who has been a member for 3 months. Thank you so much. And happy Rocksmith to you. And that deserves a ring of the bell. So I'm going to drink this first. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for that. And I just want to again thank everybody for the memberships this year. You know, we're kind of in that year wrap up place, and the support this year has been phenomenal. Phenomenal here on the channel, in the whole community at large. We have the best community any place, on or off the interwebs, and of course the Discord and everybody. I thank you all for being wonderful people, and every single one of you for being who you are. And you come as you are. So no matter what you do, like leaving a thumbs up or lurking along or jumping in the chat or creating alongside us, everything that you do is appreciated, and we love you for it. And we also have this one here. Mustn't forget this. Okay, another bell ringer. Thank you. I appreciate that. It'll go towards all of the fun in the new year. I guarantee it. You know, the stuff that Google's sends you, it always is like a month after, and so it's kind of nice. Like, you know, we're always sort of paying it forward, which is really, really awesome. Thank you so much. And did I say hi to Lisa before? Lisa, who is also wielding her beautiful wrench, and she is you know, responsible for some of the superstars that we're going to look at tonight. Good to see you. And Rufotris Rooted Rockhound is here, and a beach view on the screen would be great, Rufotris. Oh my gosh. Yeah, if you want to go ahead and shoot us a beach scene. You said that it was raining, I think, right now, which, I mean, raining in paradise still sounds like paradise. So good stuff. And oh, excuse me, beverages. That's a good thing. And thank you, Allison. Allison's live always totally perks up my day. I can't wait for Wednesdays with coffee with Allison. And I don't always jump in the chat, but I'm just darn near always there. And so you guys are all wonderful. And we have Kai here. Good to see you. Hope that you got your parcel this evening and we have things to talk about. And you know what would be really, really cool is to put some of these people's different experiences for either Christmas or solstice or whatever it is that you want to celebrate. But it would be kind of cool to see where everybody is. And so, like, the view of the snow-covered trees and the beach where Chris is right now, and all the different places. It would be super duper cool to see where you are and what it looks like. And so, you know, I wouldn't mind compiling a video, or if you guys want to toss those up in the Discord, we could do any of those things. It would be kind of cool to do like a kind of like a Christmas show of where everybody is. Like, if you guys are down for that idea, then you can, you know, link me to videos that you post up privately at your YouTube channel, or send them to me, like make a link for like the Google Cloud, stuff like that. And we could put together kind of like in the fashion of the podcast where we had some of the, the Christmas or Thanksgiving giving videos. We can kind of have a Rocksmas Festivus kind of thing if you guys want. I think that that would be super cool. And so I'm down for putting together a video if you guys are down for wanting to do that. And I will have my beach video will be dropping sometime this weekend. I'm like, I don't know, 4/5 of the way through it. Just have to finish it up, putting the finishing touches on it, and so that'll be coming out, probably as a premiere, and then we'll go into, like, the working studio type thing, the gang studio. Um Aw, you don't have to record it. That's sweet, though. Um, and like I said, we'll chitter chatter also because I have some additional things that I want to talk about with you. And so let's see, what's this? Grr, it won't let me super chat in Bali. Oh, don't worry about it. That's okay. Just you being here is the most awesome part of it. Yeah, totally hear that. Like, so that there aren't weird scammers, I bet. There's just been a lot of that, I think, lately. And we've got something up here I missed. James, we have meetings for that, MicroZone and Prairie Girl, just to name a couple of those meetings for sure. And you know what? Actually, we're gonna need to do like a group studio microzone. Like we have the working studios where everybody is cutting rocks and doing their crafts. And I didn't mention Allison. Like Allison has jumped in on a few of them as well, and it's such a good time. It would be super cool to do a group microzone where Ken and Rufo and Allison and me and Cindy and anybody who's got a microscope, or even if you want to zoom your stuff, I think it would be super duper cool to have just like a bunch, like just too many more eyefuls than that spider can handle. And hopefully I didn't like mess with your sensibilities as far as showing you a spider. I know that that gives some people the creepy crawlies, but really really think that that would be super fun to do, like a great big microzone with a bunch of different lenses just cranking off at the same time, which reminds me we should be doing that very soon. I think I see something from Mr. Turtle Montana coming up the screen. So I'm going to cheers to that, and then we'll ring the bell. And we will get this party started. Thank you, Mr. Turtle Montana. Am I dashing, dancing, prancing, or vixen? Probably all the above. I don't know. You guys tell me. What do you think? But thank you so much for your support. I really really appreciate you and everything that you do. And yeah, I like all the above. I don't know about the vixen part, but like I'll prance and dance and dash, all day. So that sounds good to me. And Arlene, good to see you. Thank you so much for coming by. Um, and I'm just trying to make sure that I didn't miss anything as we're going by. And what happened here? I tried to super chat the other day and locked myself out because I forgot my password. Oh my gosh, I've totally done that too. Like it goes to like double check on me, and I'm like, yeah, I am me, but I don't know like all of my stuff. So at least we know for sure that y'all that are posting these up are who you are, and we do appreciate you very much. And so, like I said, we're going to do some gem gazing. Oh, there we go. Had a little echo, and that's oh shoot. Oh, because of my phone. Let's do this. All right, there we go. You love like learner's mind. It can be new as long as you want it to, right? I- I'll have the mind of the baby for a long, long time. And so, what we have here before us is some lovely offerings from Blind Squirrel Rocks, some more of the really, really beautiful fossil material from their neck of the woods in Indiana. And this piece absolutely jumped out of the box and just was amazing. So we'll take a little look at this guy. Oh, this reminds me of a discussion point that I would love to ask you all about. And where is Blind Squirrel? Are you in the house, sir? It would be really, 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 really cool to find out what fossil we might be looking at here. There's definitely structures that are reminiscent of organic stuff, but it is so, so mineralized that is kind of blown away. I mean, we've got like these chasms of crystal formation that are pretty amazing, and hopefully you're getting a feel for how crisp the druzy is. I mean, there's nubbins, and then there's druzy on the nubbins, and then there's druzy on the druzy on the nubbins. I mean, it's just sort of off the Richter. So we're going to start off by looking at this underneath the microscope. But first, I wanted to ask you guys a question. What camera do I get for my setup here that is a plug-in, so I can use a USB? I don't need it to be Bluetooth, but what camera would be good to add as an extra camera for it's like a computer camera that has zoom? And I don't want to spend like a huge amount of money, but I do want to spend money on it. And I have been a little stymied as far as shopping goes. And so, especially those of you who do live streams and work on some of these platforms, I can't zoom with my camera here. It does do an autofocus, which is nice, as you can see, but I can't zoom in. Like, it loses track about right there. Um, it would be super cool to have a real actual optical zoom, like my camera has, but in StreamYard and in Discord, it won't work. And so I want to find the technology that will work with the other technology that I have. And so if anybody um has some answers to that question, I would love, love, love um, to know what your solutions might be. And thank you. Melissa's going to message the squirrel and make sure that he is hailed on over here, so that we know. And pardon me, it's the it's the verklemtitude of the ickness, you guys. Sorry if I go kind of uh soft-throated here on you guys, but it does look like the honeycomb coral. And so hopefully you guys are getting a fairly decent look at this. Again, in this suite, in the StreamYard suite, we get the 1080 and HD. And so I want to get a camera that will give you guys the look that you deserve of this stuff. And so it looks like Jennifer is here in the house. Good to see you, Jennifer. Thank you so much for coming. And thanks for that, Lisa. I do think so. Um, that's a super good question, or answer to the question. So I'm going to put this into the ball vise loosely. I'm going to change that fossil to over there. And we've got auction stuff underneath there. Let's get this bad boy up here. We'll switch that way, get this down. and get our microscope going. Ah, if only I were an octopus and could multi-micro task. Um, let us get me out. There we go. And so what we're looking at here is some of that druzy that we were just looking at. But now we're closer to the nubbins. And what's neat is that you can see like the crystal habit on some of them. I won't be moving it super fast so that you guys do have a chance to see this. It would probably do well to do like maybe a bath in some iron out, but then at the same time, I'm never sure if, some of this stuff would suffer as far as that goes. Like if there's, if some of this is calcite, I don't want to I don't want to do something that gets rid of stuff. And so I am going to get rid of our little exposure bar and, pardon me, get us caught up on the chat as well. Here we go. And we have an octopus red waving, a red octopus waving. Oh yeah. Um, what's interesting is on the platform, it also doesn't see emojis. It tells you what the emoji is. Look at these little crystals. I love how everybody is really well formed. You can just see all these little crystal points on this thing. This is a fossil, and this is what decided to grow on the fossil. Just amazing. Yeah, juicy and juicy. It is truly, truly juicy druzy. And so anybody who has worked with any of the minerals from that Indiana, the corals and that sort of thing, is the iron out safe for that? I'm wondering, there's like a nice rainbow right in the middle there in that crystal. Little cruise up here past those. And, we get into this nubbin territory. Looks like a double terminated one right there, just kind of growing on the wall. Let's bring that back. I dropped it there right in the middle. Very cool. A sweet little point right next to it, going down into that cave. We'll climb up the side here. I do want to see this guy right here in the front. That's another nice structure there. I mean, you can just see, like, it's so interesting to look at Druzy close up anyway. It just looks like sparkles to the naked eye. But then let's go back over here. Then you look at it under the microscope and you see how complex all of the crystals are. Like, so you can see how sort of grossular or large some of those guys to the right are. Like there's a point that's kind of sticking out straight at us in this quadrant here. And then look at how small these guys are down here. Like it's almost like there's these tiny marcasite style crystals. And so truly, truly druzy. And Doug is saying iron out. And good evening, Doug. Thank you for coming. And then we have, depends on how much other materials like calcite there are. But I have soaked some in iron out from Tyler that he got there. Excellent. Okay, that is super good to know. I would love to do some experimenting with the iron out, and I have some other candidates that I think would be really good for that too. And so we'll just cruise a little bit more. And James is saying, "I'm not an expert that but they look like calcite crystals to me." And so, yeah, I'm worried that we have a mixture because some of them, look pretty clear and quartzy, but I think that we might have a mixture, and I would hate to damage, have half of this go away because it was, in fact, not something that would get along with some iron out. We're going to go into this blur zone and see. Lesby Rockin is here in the house as well. Almost missed you. So all of this stuff that up here that's got like a lot of red in it, you have to wonder, like, do we have a color here, or is that just needing to get ironed out? That's kind of funny. Like, not flattened, but iron out. What did I just say? Um, and so again, just miles and miles of Druzy in this one, and all the while being some kind of a fossil replacement where every now and again you can kind of see where that fossil record kind of was, and so amazing. And we also have one that Soul, are you still here? Let me, instead of making you guys all like, look at that. Look at that right there. I mean, don't you want to just go live in there? I'm going to climb in that little cave and just, you could pick all of the little crystal points like they're flowers for a bouquet. And there we go, going down into one of the little crystal caves. And you see those guys sort of married there down there. How wild is that? I mean, that looks like that crystal point is sticking straight up at us, and then you've got these ones that are sticking sideways down the throat. It's definitely a throw the gauntlet type of thing. All right. And so, anyways, I meant to do this. And sometimes things need ironed out. Absolutely true. We've got this thing from Soul, and we got to okay, I'm ditching rocks already. We got a chance to look at this. I can't remember if it was just in the unboxing and I did this with it, or if we actually got a chance to look at it under the microscope. It kind of looks like mica almost. And so, for one thing, do you recognize this from what you sent me? And I wanted to stick this underneath the microscope too, just so that we could take a shiny look at it, because it felt very in this season. And back to your cave, says Willow. I'll take the right cavern. You go left, right? And we'll try not to get lost. Sounds like something out of Huck Finn, right? And so I'm going to get that stuck onto the microscope stand. And we'll take a look at this and see what are we looking at. Let's get that's very shiny. And let's have you be full screen. We'll get you into view. Look at that. Ah, that's so pretty. I mean, that is just ripping the light apart. How cool. And so I remember the cab, but not the name of it. Okay, let's just call it Beautiful. Hello, Beautiful. It's got like a very mica like habit as far as like these linear sheets sticking up out of it that are so shiny. And you can kind of see the directional striations here. And it's as shiny, like there's no juice on this. That's as shiny as it is. Like it's these like all these sequency mirrors, and it kind of looks to the naked eye goldish, but upon looking at this closer, we see that there are some different, deeper colors. Like I'm speeding up to this place here, and let's see if we can get a little closer. We're having the experience of going down to the bottom of her drink, although it wasn't adult. And look at that. I mean, it looks like, it's almost like crystal foil, you know, like crinkled crystal foil. It's so pretty. Astrophyllite. Ooh, that sounds really neat. And it actually that it sounds familiar, and it would be a great name for it because it's what you would expect to see with a name like that. You would have high expectations for it to be like just wickedly cool, and it is. So, part of its allure is what it does with the light. It just gets turned onto this electric color through it as the different planes catch. Does that not look like a stained glass window? You know, like in one of the most opulent cathedrals. That is just so, so pretty. What a treat. I'm pretty sure we didn't have a chance to put it under the microscope when we first got it. I think I was waiting on Soul as far as wanting to know what it was. And then also, I think that was the time where I got her box and she was out of town doing some rock hounding. And so I wanted to wait until she came back. And it is amazingly awesome, right? And so thank you, Soul, for this micro cathedral window. I mean, it is just it it is so full of light. Pretty amazing. I'm like stuttering. You always know it's good when you can't make words happen. Yeah, and so this is the type of thing that I could probably it's kind of like a kaleidoscope where, you just keep on turning it to see like what the different lighting effects do. And it sitting on underneath the microscope is doing this light show even just sitting there. Like I glanced over, and it's like just singing sitting over there. And since I got this close, it's getting a little on the dark side, but I don't know if I want to fix it because I don't want to overexpose. It's got neat contrast right now. But we'll kind of move around a little bit and see all the jewel tones that are happening, like these like rich, rich reds and the gold. Yeah, so I guess, I don't know what Muh is experiencing, but down the left side of the tunnel, I found a cathedral, and it is beautiful. So I hope that you're having lovely experience wherever it was that you went to. I mean, it almost looks like fiery embers. It's so, so pretty. Yeah, here we go. It looks you could look at that forever. You could. I will check it out with the black light. We'll see if it works. And so everybody close your eyes, or I guess I could do this and get this going for just a moment while we turn off the light, and it's gonna trip out the exposure bar. But of course, that's what we have the black light for, is to play. We must play. And so let's see. That's it is unexpected. So I don't know what you guys are expecting, but it definitely isn't what I expected. So I definitely need to mess with the exposure here now at this point. That is really a trip. Okay. See if it'll stay on its armature. Focus, 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 focus. There we go. All right. Bring you up. There we go. And so this is your whatever it is. And some of it is highly reactive, and others is not at all. And so you can kind of see in the texture, and it just is exploding the exposure in some of the areas with like a very, very intense glow. And I am not sure exactly what that's about, but it is pretty darn neat. So it seems like we have an amalgam of some different minerals, but that's a different world than what we were looking at before, for sure. Like we went from the cathedral into like something from 2001: A Space Odyssey here. Okay, wait for it. And in case you didn't see it, the answer is astrophyllite, which again really works for the Space Odyssey situation. Muzz on the floor. Quick CPR. Oh, Doug. And she's on her way. No cathedrals over here. Oh, that's great. And this is that astrophyllite under the UV. And so we'll cruise around just a little bit to have a look. You know, gosh, it's like different at every single around the corner. And I think that um it's hard to know with there's a lot of nooks and crannies and valleys for this, and so the focus for the the camera, you know, it's a little bit confused. We're confusing the camera, but look, those are neat structures. I mean, if you didn't know what you were looking at and saw this, there would be really you wouldn't be able to ever guess it, that's for sure. So good idea, Miss, Lisa. She's the quick draw McGraw with the UV light. Isn't that cool? It's reflecting some of this UV in such an interesting way, you know, with the like kind of glowiness. Brown Shimmer as a nickname. Oh, very cool. Thank you so much. We've got like some really great answers here. So Rufotris has the brown shimmer, but also Potassium, iron, titanium, silicate mineral. Oh boy, howdy. We love our potassiums. I'm a case spar kind of girl. And so this is super treat oriented. Thank you so much for the extra information, Rufotris. Very, very cool. And so, again, Miss Soul, you are a, a rock goddess for sharing this with the microzone. And I'm sorry that it took us this long to be able to have a look around. Um, but I'm glad that we finally got to it because my gosh, it's uh it's really a neat one. So, a little last look here, and it's a very funny name. And the intense hot pink and blue and that really bright white, it is really amazing. It's yeah, and of course, the camera's eye has trouble figuring out sometimes what it's looking at, especially in the dark. And so what my eye is seeing is even better. Hate to say it, guys. And so on the list for next year, as far as the ozone is concerned, we are looking at not only getting another good second camera for the live streams that is just going to be like a regular camera, but also we're looking at getting a better camera for the microscope so that when we have shots like that, it'll be ever more crisp. And like I said, this platform gives us the full HD. I want you guys to see, as good as I can see it, because many times I will look through the microscope at something and then I see it through the camera and I'm like, I mean, that's cool, but it's not like when I'm seeing it with the naked eye. And so we're gonna fix that. And so we definitely have some big huge future goals for you guys for next year. And I think now it would be kind of cool to look at here is what Diane, and I'm sorry that I don't think she's here tonight, but we'll hopefully get her to see this maybe on another time. And oh my gosh, that is so overexposed since we were just in the dark. Oh my goodness, gotta fix that. And so it looks like we've also got some comment saying, so collecting based on, oh wow, it's pretty is straightforward, but what is the criteria for collecting based on the ozone microscope level? That's a really interesting question. And I think it's more query based than it is like value based. So is it for interest's sake and for what like tickles your synapses sake? That's what's interesting in the ozone microzone. At least as far as my perspective, it's interesting to see the things that like especially are unexpected. Uh, the minerals that have interesting habits. We do. I almost forgot something that I have to add to the list. Something that came in my Kyle box, and then you guys probably can remember what it is, and so you can remind me what it is. But I was looking at that also, and I was like, oh my gosh, actually might have started the wheels rolling on this Druzy thing. So yeah, I don't know exactly the criteria other than like, do you think it might be interesting to look at underneath the microscope? Usually that is rewarded with the yes answer. But that's a great question for sure. Let me zoom out here. All the way zoomed in doesn't start off awesome either. And I'm going to definitely also be looking into getting my polarization worked out. And so it's so bright. on TV. I can't even look at it. Oh no. And yes, a mid-range flashlight would be very, very cool. There's so many upgrades, so many things to do, and it'll all be good, and we'll get to them all. Don't you worry. Current Christmas sale on Amscope for micro cameras. Big sale on 5 Plus. Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah, like, I would like to that's the area in which I'm looking is, like, maybe a 10 or plus, because 'cause we've got a 5 right now, and I would really like to be able to offer more. Um, I think that you guys deserve it. So, thank you for that. I usually haunt it, but boy, I have been so busy, um, and let's see. We have a criteria for collecting rocks. Is it pretty? Is number one. Is it interesting? Number two. Three, will it look cool under the microscope? And four, will it UV? Yeah. Yeah, that's a great criteria right there. I mean, I can't say that it's all that different for me. Like I think that checks the boxes. I also love working with different minerals, and so and can I work it? Because a lot of stuff doesn't end up being specimen in my laboratory. Unfortunately, I end up eating it like the sunstones. Um, and we have this edition. A late breaking edition is 5. Will it fit in my pocket? Which is also really nice, especially if you've got like a larger rock collection and you have to parse down some of your specimens for sure. And I like this amended one. 5, the edit. Will it fit in my car or do I need a tractor? Yeah, that is like not far from the truth. Actually, Kyle and I were just talking about that. What might be necessary as far as the equipment to be able to haul something off. And so what we've got here, some of you guys are going to recognize this is the back of some sticky right there. So we can move over from that. But does anybody recognize this here from a Kyle sale? Look at look at that right there in the middle. Let me take the exposure bar down because it looks like we're probably fine as far as that's concerned. And look at the little fortifications in that hole. Are we even kidding? And Ma gets it. And I promise I didn't tell Ma ahead of time. But Yeah, that is so insane. You can see these great big, uh, the different xylem lines of the cell structure. And this is one of the ways that you can actually tell what kind of wood it is by counting, how many cells are in what chambers. And I believe that because we can see them, that this is the tangential view, because you have like the radial and the tangential, and then what like the cross section. And so this was supposed to be about Druzy, and so we are looking at Druzy also, because if any of you guys did get some of the pocket rot wood, um, then you probably also got pieces like this that have not only just fabulous cell structure. So now we can see what I meant by it. You can count how many, I think they're called parenchyma, that are in each little pea pod, if you will. These big lobes that look like peas. I'm going to have to improve our light. Sorry. There we go. And you can see that so these circle or lobes, there are however many are stacked, and then that kind of peters out, and then there's another one, and then here's a little group here, and so on and so forth. And the way that those are loaded, it can be one of the ways that you figure out what wood you are looking at. Off the top of my head, I do not recognize what we're looking at. And yet, if somebody knows what the pocket rot wood is, then definitely share it. And you can see like kind of the xylem lines with like teeny weeny little cell structures in there as well. And then this is kind of cool. Like this, all of this fortification actually has some druzy that is going through it too. So it's like wicked detailed. The closer that you get to this material, the better it is. It's just insane. Yeah, that is totally mind blowing. Did you get any of this, Allison? Because you definitely want to shuffle this underneath your microscope if you did. And let's see. This stuff is just crazy. And what is I missed some stuff going up the line. And this is cabbed stuff. This is an earring pair that Diane bought me, and I was like, this I have been wanting this so bad. And I just like I knew I wanted it for myself. And coming up on the holiday season and stuff, I could not buy anything for myself. It all had to be for projects. And so look at that. Oh my gosh, this little pocket with like the little itty bitty fortification lines. I'm sorry. This stuff is just so freaking cool. Here's the edge. Nice big red edge. And so I'm going to continue. I'm sorry. And so Diane ended up getting me this pair. And so these are already cabbed up and ready to become earrings, which is exactly what is going to happen with them. And yeah, Soul, definitely check yours. It is the most incredible stuff. It's just so beautiful. And the borderline is disturbing. Yeah, or it is borderline disturbing. I mean, this is very, very fancy as far as how it got fortified. Look at that guy. And it's wood that like took a trip to to polka dot or something, like the polka dot agate fields. Because I mean there's us a little druzy pocket there, and some, yeah, that's just kind of fuzzy forts there. Oh, man, but the cell structure is absolutely, I love Petwood. You guys know this. And so having like, look at this, what's even going on there? I mean, that is so freaking cool. Like this is jewelry that I'm gonna have a hard time wearing because I'll just be wanting to gaze at it all the time. So we're just gonna cruise through a bit of this insanity because it does change color a few times. Very lava-y. Agreed. I love how the structures, broke apart. It's pocket rot. And so the structures broke apart and kind of got like a breccia or like a suspension in the lava pools or agate pools, as it were. And we almost have some Kyle. I still have a bunch of this. Okay, well, you know what? There's going to be a run on pocket rot. Like between you, like, you know what, Kyle? I should like do a microzone ahead of time on this stuff. Well, you've got a microscope. You should do a microzone on the stuff that you're about to sell, because now everybody's going to want some of this for sure. And let's see, Google says the pocket rot, like this is a type of palm. Awesome. And the up close pictures match this cell structure perfectly. So probably palm, I'm betting too. And that's such awesome. Thank you so much for the quick look up there and the help. I don't have a whole lot of palm. And so some of the structures I do actually, uh, I can tell what it is right away. We're going to hit the light spot there. We were doing so good. And that's why I need like polarizing magic. Um, but yeah, that's the tip over there. We can jump to the other piece actually. Let's do that. Okay, so here's some of that, the little windows that you're used to seeing on the pocket rot. Well, here they are. And look at like the way that those cells permineralized with the different colors. It's just like little gems in there. And it looks like they're lit up, so it's very possible that crystals grew in those and they actually are lighting up, which is absolutely nuts. Um and it looks like Lisa's here, or rather, Julie's here. Good to see you from AZ Rockhound Expeditions. Thank you for coming. And Lava Bison is here as well. And yeah, like everybody needs to get some of this. And what do we got here? I should have you do a microzone on that Torito wood you polished up. Yeah, that was beautiful. Torito wood does take an enormously gorgeous polish. Just not the really super soft stuff, but the stuff that is harder. If you guys missed it, from Kyle's beach hunt, he did find a really nice piece of Torito wood, like kind of like a palm stone size, a little bit bigger than that. And it took the most amazing polish, like a Kyle polish extraordinaire. And there is a little short on that, I believe. And so definitely go check that out. And yes, it would be super fun to do a microzone on that. Um, did you not? I thought you did a short. Maybe I'm thinking of what you sent us all to see, which was so cool. So I'm sorry if y'all didn't have a chance to see that. Let me just go on the record for saying that it was really super cool to see, and I'm sure that Kyle will be getting on that short anytime now. Whoops. And so hold on a second here. Let's go back to that. And that's what I meant to do. Get a little light on the subject here. And crispify. So how different are these cells up here than the ones that were down there? Those ones were all red, and these guys are all like golden and white. This one seems a little bit gemmier though. I mean, like look at all of the shine that's coming back through all those the little itty bitty xylem cells there. I wonder if we can get closer to that. I think we have some room. Let's see those. Look at that. Look at how dainty those are. Wow, I thought we were way closer already. I always do that. Oh my gosh, this is fantastic. Sorry. I'd be saying all these same things and gasping and doing all of this if I was alone in this room. So, thank you guys all for hanging out and watching how fancy this wood is. I mean, look at that. It's like somebody's ornately um, embellished evening gown, you know, that is, and those are all shining back up at us. That's like, those are all little teeny weeny crystal pockets. Boy, that would make the calendar, I think. Um, And we have podcast crew got first dibs seeing it. I'll be making a separate video. Spoilers. Okay. Hopefully I didn't spoil it too much. It is amazing. You guys all have something to look forward to for sure. Um, and yeah. Wow, get us some pocket rot rough. Yeah, because some of us like it rough for sure. Okay, let's see if we can get that is as close as we can get. And we'll take a slow cruise around here for a little bit longer. There's more to come. So here's a great big, 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 big Druzy pool. And look at those big old crystals and a rainbow right there. Hello. And that goes down into a great big chasm. Just down, down, down. It looks like actually there's some botryoidal madness down at the bottom of that bot hole. This is truly a bot hole. If we had any doubts about that, then we do now know that there are bots at the bottom of bot holes. It has been verified here tonight, and you were here for that. Okay, here's some more of that polychrome cellular structure. Let's get that into focus. Just beautiful. Just amazing. So, ladies and gentlemen, pocket rot, you need some in your life for sure. All right. And so thank you, Diane. Whenever you watch this video, hopefully you see how much we all really, really appreciated your beautiful rot. I get to say that today. How often does anybody ever get to say weirdness like that? We've got one more small specimen. Oh no, we have a couple more smalls. You're killing me, smalls. We got this like super cool little package from Lisa, and it is full of Druzy goodness that we definitely need to check out. And if somebody recognizes what this material is, then share with me what I'm looking at. It almost looks like stromatolite that has Druzy goodness on it. Are we see? Oh, I turned that light off. That's why it's so dark. It's so dark because we were doing the UV thing. And so let's get that back up on. Yeah, there we go. Like these are really, 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 really cool. So how do I really feel about it? And so this is where I want to zoom, but I guess we've got the microscope, so we'll zoom soon enough. Zoom a zoom. And so actually, I'm gonna put these down, and I gotta ring the bell, people. There's that, and woo. Thank you, soul. Really appreciate that. More wood, more bots, more MicrOzone. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate that. And I guarantee you that there will be more MicrOzone, like probably this weekend. We'll be having some fun for sure. And so let's see which one of these pieces do you guys want to see most underneath the microscope. We'll put this one is number 1, the other top one is number 2, and then we'll start over again. Number 3, number 4, number 5. Which one of these pieces should go underneath the microscope so that we can take a closer look? What do you think? These druzy-rific gorgeousnesses. And it's called Desert Druzy. All right. And is it does anybody know, or does anybody want to do a quick search as to what is Desert Druzy? Is it stromatolite? And oh my gosh, Mr. Turtle Montana, good Lord have merciful goodnesses. Saying I have a 10-pound chunk of some very colorful palm wood. Oh my goodness. Photos in Discord. I'm down for some trading if anybody is interested. Oh, I betcha they will. That sounds wonderful. Doesn't that look like stuff that you want to eat? I don't know. I feel like it should be, those are like sugared candies or something. And Lisa says number 1, and Mus says number 2. And we have wonderfulness here. Some more wonderfulness. Thank you, Mr. Turtle Montana. Ring that bell. Ring that bell. Thank you so much for your kindness and generosity, and welcome in those of you who got membership or got your memberships renewed. I really, really appreciate the support so much, and it keeps all of this going so that we can gaze into the gems. Wow, that's closer than I thought it could go. That's not bad. Huh. I was thinking about just maybe getting like a sort of zoom armature onto my phone so that I could just manually zoom it, or even like a decent self focusing camera, like the second camera for a computer camera would be fine, as long as we could like get it to zoom in fairly good. Like, that's not bad right there, actually. Maybe stuff just needs to be backed better. And so we had a vote for number one, a vote for number two. Do we have any tiebreakers going on? All of them says so. Yeah, let's just hang out for the evening, you guys. We'll just all party late in the night, looking at Desert Druzy together. Oh, thank you so much, Julie. Really appreciate you too. Yay, we are fast tracking to getting some more pocket rot and the good cameras for the ozone. Really, really appreciate your guys' support. Merry Rocksmas and happy solstice to everyone. Seriously, thank you. And all right, let's see. Never enough cowbell. Absolutely. Silicon dioxide is what it is. That's a good answer. I mean, we love the siliconesses. Keep bringing that bell. Absolutely, will do. Thank you. We got membership. I always feel like animal or something. I'm doing that. We need the animal meme, or my hair needs to be going all over the place or something there. And let's see, we also have, all I can find on Desert Druzy is its metaphysical answers. One says it's Druzy over chalcedony, which actually it very much looks like agate, fortification lines, some banding there, and then some druzy over the top of it, which is awesome. So we will be looking at it underneath the microscope post haste. Let's get that bad boy up there and get her focused. And we'll start with number one. This was sent very generously by Lisa, and since she said number one, we'll go ahead and acquiesce to her request first. And so, thank you, Fotris, for looking that up for us. Let's get this up on the stage, and we will do this. And we need to bring the lights down a little bit and get this. Yeah, there we go. And so, how nice. I mean, the color in the banding is so interesting to me that you can see it so vividly through the. Let me get rid of the exposure bar here. You can see it so vividly through the druzy. And I think that that's part of what's so alluring about it. And it's got a lot of color and also different crystal growth patterns. And so I wonder, yeah, we need to find out if this is stromatolite. Stromatolite. Da, 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 da. It's one of those things. Let's get that. Look at this little blue, this blue area here. Hello. You're beautiful. Oh, yes, you are. I know you guys talk to your rocks. Don't say you don't. I remember Rookie on the podcast asked about that. You guys talk to your rocks, right? We're like, well, of course, but we had to mess with him about that first. But isn't that just rich and gorgeous? Just an eye full of magical blue there. And it's always such a treat to see when minerals turn such pleasant colors all by themselves. It's all natural, folks. It looks like Bob is heading out. Oh my gosh, I hear you about feeling under the weather, and I hope that you feel better soon. Falling asleep at the computer, time for bed. Night all, have safe and healthy holiday, and you too, Bob. Well, hopefully we see you some more through the weekend. I know we're all going to be hanging out together at some other lives. Of course, Julie and Brian have their usual Sunday thing going on, unless it's not. And then Kyle promises he's going live sometime during the weekend. I'm going to have a video premiere, plus we'll have a working live together also. So plenty going on. And if you have something that is going on for you as well, like JNV rock hounding, if you're rolling out something, Rufotris, if you're rolling out something, Soul, if you're rolling out something, it was really super fun watching your live. I can't remember if I jumped on or if I was just lurking, but I did see you unpacking, I think, Bob's Rocks' box. And so that was really super fun. And yeah, being off your rocker, sure, that counts. Steinkerns, everyone. Got to stay hydrated. All right, let's take a little walk around here a little bit, and we could probably zoom out just a touch, just a smidgen, so that we see a little bit more of what's going on. But yeah, this really feels so much like some of the other stromatolites, especially on the back. And it makes total sense that some of it would get nicely mineralized, given there's usually some sort of hydro thing going on nearby. This is another one where I could just, kind of cruise through and zone out and look at it for long periods of time. Where's the Rocky Mountain Bear? We got the boy Blue going on hardcore right now. Blue Druzy. Can't beat that with a stick. Just beautiful. Gorgeous, gorgeous layers. And it looks like Amber is here in the house. Good to see you, Amber. Thanks for coming. And we're just cruising through some Desert Druzy that Lisa sent me in the mail. I just got it, and I absolutely could not wait to break it open and look at some underneath the microscope. So we are indulging big time, and we're back to that beautiful thing. I mean, talk about like cathedral stuff again. We've got some of the decorations inside the cathedral on this one. Very, very pretty. So blue. Love it. And then let us go ahead and we'll get the other one up because Ma wanted number 2. And so this one's got lots of like little valleys and things going on. It should be another interesting one. These were my choices as well. I thought that these ones both would be really good. So we can take that down. We can put this back up. And we'll get this back into focus. Oh, wow. Look at that. Like just already to our left-hand side, it looks like tiny, tiny little forts there. What? Like little fortification. What are you even talking about? Look at that. Like beautiful, what looks like truly blue druzy. Truly druzy. Nice. I'm gonna pull us back out a little bit. Go over here. Wow, there's another interestingness. just so that we can kind of have a look at what we're looking at first and then get in. I wonder if I'm cutting out. Am I cutting out, you guys? I just cut out on my my microphone. Are we 5x5? There. With as high as I have it, I can't get any farther out. So that's what we're going to do. But this is practically like tie-dye. Yes, definitely love this Starry Night painting. Fantastic. Wow. So much blue. It's bluesy. I love that. That's going on right in the middle. This one's a higher stone, and so it's sitting up just high enough that it doesn't want to come into focus that one place. But look at that, like just concentric circles of crystals. What? That is so pretty. Just definitely Starry Night stuff. Catching the light right there. And down that whole ridge line right in front of us right here. And I did just get it into focus there. Look at, doesn't that look like that might be the crystal habit just being accentuated, but doesn't that look, oh my gosh, look at that point right there on the right lower. Okay, well, we're gonna have to take a closer look at those guys. And we have 5x5. Thank you, Lisa. And Doug says blue is the origin of the human soul. I wouldn't argue. That sounds great. And Cynthia is here in the house. 5x5. Hi, been crocheting and lurking. Yay for both. And Cynthia, we're going to definitely need to have you in on the MicrOzone party that, when we all get on and do like a studio live, but with microscopes and microphones. I was going to slip and just say microphones. Look at the crystals. I'm sorry. That's so redundant. Like, of course you, Karen, what kind of hostess am I? Like, hey, everybody, look at the crystals right here in front of your face. But seriously, like, wow. And so, yeah, it looks like they're multi-zonal. Like, do you think that we're looking at phantom crystals, guys? What is going on? And that one at the bottom, I will go ahead and zoom in on that one too, but I'm just kind of looking at that cluster that's right in the center. And yes, right? Wouldn't that be a blast? It would be a blast. We have to do it. And it looks like a blue K. I love that, Soul. Fantastic. And I just found a few rock shops about 4 miles. Awesome. One looks like it might have rotwood and more. Very cool. Go check it out when the rain stops for sure. Very, very cool. I know that there's plenty of rocks there. Says my friend who lives there. Steinkerns again, everyone. As we gaze into this crystal sea, and we love seeing crystal seas. So let's get closer and find out what in the world is going on with these guys. And like I said, we'll get to that big crystal. Oh my gosh, look at that. I mean, how many of y'all have seen crystals stacked with color like that? What's going on with that? Is that like a little piece of I mean, it looks like a crystal though. I'm super, super intrigued. Like there's that cubey guy up there with definitely zonal color. And then there's this guy down here, and they look like that is going on from within the crystal. And we'll get closer. And then we have another bigger one to check out too. And let me fix the exposure on this. Probably some other kind of music would be better than me doing like Girl from Ipanema or something. There we go. Hello. What? What are you? Who are you? Okay. The combination of awesome music and killer rocks put me into a pretty cool trance. Yeah, definitely. I should put the awesome music on unless everybody, you can have your awesome music going on your own choice of awesome music is in the that's like music's plural, right? In your own backgrounds. Look at we've got the crystal structure here. So there's a point that's going there. There's our structure. And underneath it, I mean, is that just being magnified by a clear crystal? Because that is just beautiful. And Amber is feeling like that could be phantoms. And hey, resort dog is in the house. Good to see you. This is Desert Druzy. And so I don't know. Does Desert Druzy come from Brazil, guys? I'm not sure. And let's see. We've got only shops in this town are beads and faceted gems, no rough. There was I remember reading someplace that the gems from some places all have to leave that place worked and not rough because it gives people jobs. And you guys can back me up. I remember I was reading this from somebody who travels and buys gems a lot, and they were saying, why, knowing that these guys are faceted gem cutters, why in the world would they be buying faceted gems already? And they said that, some places they go, they can't buy the rough. Like they're only allowed to buy faceted gems because it helps the economy of putting those people that are there to work. And in many ways I definitely support that. And then they'll take the gems back, and if they don't fit their standards, or they'll judge the gems that they're getting from the cut and maybe just recut them and that sort of thing. So there's that. They do look like chevrons. I'm just getting us all the way around it so that we can kind of troubleshoot this thing and figure out. And then maybe we don't need to figure it out. Maybe it can just stay a mystery. But this thing is just so cool, and it's happening with these two. And then we have one up here in the corner that we can look at in a moment. And I'll just leave it there for a second. We do love pretty rocks, beads, bracelets, pebbles, etc. Right, Amber? Like the blue Botswanas, says Mr. Turtle. And yeah, I don't know all of the different rules for all the different places. I just kind of have run across some of this recently because both people that I know and myself looking for facet rough, but can't always get it, and so you end up just buying bigger things in the flavors that you want and that you're going to recut it, which is awesome. Like, again, just like give these people the jobs because they are there, they're boots on the ground, and they need the economy. Gosh, this is awesome. Okay. And Doug, do as you zoom, you see Hubble shots, but then wait, are we on Karen's scope or now deep in the universe? Right? Got to cross the universe here into the microverse. Dun dun dun. Get this one up here. Yeah, this color, it really looks like it's in the crystal, no? Like, show of hands. Is it in the crystal, or is the crystal like magnifying something or reflecting something that's underneath it? Your guess. Look at those. Holy buckets. I mean, who needs faceted gems when you can just like magnify these and look at that? Which is heresy. I am a faceter. I should not say that. And that one, it's interesting. We changed the angle on that one. We still get the geometry of what it looked like was inside it, but it's not showing it quite as much. That big one, that's they're kind of towards the top. Oh man, but the lower ones are just on fire. Are you kidding? That's so cool. All right, so let's go up to this guy. There's this big one that we've been saving. Where did he go? Where did he go? Is it this guy here in our face? Is that you? Because I've now twisted it around quite a bit. Oh my gosh. Let's improve our situation and carry on this experiment and find the other groovy crystal. Yeah, these guys are all kind of doing that thing. Is this the one? There was like a big old crystal down here. There's our cluster right there. Was it down here? That's one of the problems with microscopy is you start twisting around on something, might as well be a whole football field. But you can definitely lose subjects. Okay, I guess it was this guy right there. No, that's our cluster from before, right? Wait a minute. Yeah, they're pretty much all doing that. Those guys. They're just messing with us. There it is. That's the big one. Okay, so let's put that in the center and pull up the focus and exposure I'm going to lighten it a little bit because we're going to get closer. Get rid of that. And we're going in. Wow, that whole ridge line is also like just on blue fire status. Well, what do you think? Is that reflecting that? Oh, that's hilarious. So true. And Ma saying it's under the crystal, and I think that Resort Dog is also feeling that way. And hey, Spot, good to see you. And Mr. Turtle Montana was wondering if they're concussion fractures, possibly. And let's see. Fortress is talking about some of the excursions that you can take there in Bali. You can hire a private car and guide for a full day. Yeah. Um, that is awesome. I hope that you guys can do that and like go see everything. Some of this is going to get a little bit cut, but I'm going to leave the Druzys. They're just going to get set with things like, okay, so uh we love this material. That is established, and I'm going to zoom out a little bit. We're probably going to want the aid of our exposure bar back so that we don't get totally washed out. And back in focus. Oh, that's right. I couldn't get very far from this one. We have to be kind of close. Okay. So beautiful. What stones, if you were to make a cabochon out of this material, what stone would you put with it to accentuate it, contrast it? This is a jewelry design question. Oh my gosh, I freaking love this piece so much. It's going to be so much fun to play with. Now that it's Soul's fault. Like she brought up the like, well, Karen's obviously going to lap this. Well, there will be some lapidary. It's true. But what is it going to become? What is Karen going to make? Well, I figure that with a Druzy piece, it's going to look great with some points of something. So what points, oh my gosh, look at those bands. What points of things, some cool faceted stones, I reckon. But hey, I'm not trying to put, oh no, look at that. Look at that right on the corner. What are you doing? What are you doing over there on the corner? Don't be on the corner. You should have been in the middle. that yeah, if you were going to make some jewelry out of all of this bluey goodness, what would you pair with it? And go. We have sapphires, of course. That would be good. Yeah, wait, this will be probably like winter spring offering as far as the a collection goes. I am like just really quick, I did the warm tones up until now and probably will continue some of the warm tones like the fire agate and the coppers and the really warm agates like the layered agates that are crazy lace from Missouri and some of the other crazy laces, of course, the AZ um, rock hounding expedition people stuff that we're going to be microzoning with that very soon, and then we also will have some to play with. And so some of the warmer colors, but then we're going to cruise into the cooler colors for the second half of winter into spring, which will be aquamarine and the blues like sapphire and stuff like this, and some of the turquoise and the varicites and the tourmaline, the different things that we have, some of those topaz that are more of the blue uh, colored topaz and that sort of thing to look forward to. The Swiss blue, I think it is. And so carry on. Sorry, just wanted to insert that. We've got Bumblebee Jasper. That would be the coolest contrast. I like sapphires for the match. Bumblebee would definitely be like the contrast. And we have Tanzanite would be a fantastic thing for sure. And fire opal is a no-brainer. I have to do fire opals. And of course the iolites. Oh, iolite would look so good with this. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited for that, you guys. And I have some you guys know what the melee um stones are, the tiny, tiny little like diamonds. I was using CZs. I've got some more on order that they're just tiny little sparkle stones to add to things. And I thought, oh gosh, with Druzy, like adding some sparkle stones to like some of the perimeter and that sort of thing is going to be so neat. And I have some of those, some surprise ones of those coming too. And so that's going to be amazing. I have, oh yeah, iolite, and a third to that with and amber, and then sunstones, absolutely fantastic. Sterling silver setting. I'm a sterling silver girl for sure. If we're going for contrast, then maybe some copper, but like sterling is my jam, big time. I am a silversmith. I'm just like a bleeding heart silversmith is my deal. Even if I could have all the gold in the world, I think I would have a hard time not doing some beautiful silver. And I do like doing you say the black stainless, and I love doing the liver of sulfur will bring the black up for sure. And so can can do that. And yellow or orange would be gorgeous and could do a carving. Very nice. Oh my gosh, can you imagine? That would be like the coolest thing. Or even, a moonstone, either a sunstone or a moonstone or even both. I love your ideas, you guys. We should do a jewelry jam again. We definitely need to do that. And then we have aquamarine or the pink tourmalines, you guys. Yes. And what's fun is like some of these rough stones I have lying around. So we can actually do a jewelry jam where like we talk about we can look at the cab and we can take out some of the stones and play with some of the different rhythms as far as jewelry that we want to come up with. So we will definitely try that. And um let's see. Yeah, I would agree here. Silver. It's silver all day. I just love the look of it. It's definitely what is fabulous. And I know that there's other like weight colored like white gold or platinum and palladium and things like that. But I don't know, there's something just the actual element of gold makes me so, or rather silver makes me so happy. And it goes with the stones that I love. And so obsidian is definitely something that I can work with. I have some hanging around of different varieties for sure. And yeah, black and blue would be beautiful. Yes, black contrast. And there are other black stones that could also be worked as well. I mean, there's the black tourmaline, there's spinel. And so there's some really cool black things that would be pretty amazing to do. And so gosh, that was a super fun romp. All right. And so oh no, don't fly away. They're trying to liberate themselves into the universe. And so let us look. I think we should look at the big one. And when I say big one, I've got a larger fossil shell, or rather fossil stone, that I found on the beach hunt that I'm making the video for. And so you guys get to see the stone that I find in the video. Um, Perfect world, I would have already had the video out, but it's not. And so this is kind of cool because you guys get to see a preview of one of the finds from the video. It was pretty exciting, and it definitely goes along with our little Druzy theme for this evening. And so pop this down. I just got rid of the ball vise, and that thing is heavy. Like that's as heavy as any of my kettlebells for the workouts. And I'm just gonna get this. It's a kind of a bigger stone. Oh my gosh, I'm like ditching everything to the floor and getting this so that I'm going to have to also hold it as we go through it. So you guys, I'm sure, will be very patient. And without further ado, what are we looking at? So this guy is a fossil. Let's see if we can, there we go. This guy is a fossil that is in a stone. You bring this guy up actually, and we'll bring this down for a second. We'll get this back. This guy is it, and it is from our last little beach hunt, and it is a fossil bearing stone. And so you can see the shell fossils and everything. And then it's got this bit of madness going through, and the lighting's not great. Let me bring this guy back up here. Whoa. There we go. So you see that linear situation going there? Come on. There we go. That is what we're going to look at underneath the microscope. We've got a through and through, and it's extremely interesting as far as its permineralization. And so it's kind of nice before, we go all the way in to see, okay, what is it, what's the context for what we're looking at here? And so I am bringing you the context now. This big through and through stone. There we go. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is some really, really strangely permineralized bone. And so I thought, okay, well, we definitely need to have a look at this underneath the microscope. So that's where we're going. Get that back underneath here. And like I said, I'm going to have to hold it so that we can move it around to the places that we want to see. There's my hand. So let's get her into focus. And we will find our bony stuff here. There we go. Now we're getting into it. All right. We'll bring you all the way up. And let's get the exposure. There. Now this is wild. Because this permineralization is thoroughly, like you can see how many crystals over there by the exposure bar. And I'll get something to prop this so it's not bouncing so much. But all of that material there is silicated. And so this whole bone structure that we have here was exposed and just started getting like all of this crazy silicate action going on. And you can see there's a band of it going straight across. So there's an articulation there, or like a breccia even. And it's very crystal oriented. That whole wall that's right underneath the white there is very crystally. And so where I would usually expect to see more of the, just the bone structure that has been permineralized, it's like it got blasted out by the way that the crystals wanted to grow. And so there you can see some of the lineation of like the way that the cells were growing up and down on the bottom. But it is wide open, shakier than Michael J. Fox. Yeah, when you magnify and try to hold at the same time, but I wanted to be able to move through this particular piece the way that I do it smoothly all the rest of the time is it sits in a ball vise. And that ball vise pivots so nice. But when you have a really, really big structure like this guy, not so easy to do that if we want to move around. And so sorry about the caffeine shake, but I wanted to give you guys a look at how crazy this is. And this really has a detail that is crazier than all crazy. And so I'm going to bring the exposure bar up and we're going to go down into it. And I'm going to share with you something that I discovered, which is wild. So we're going to go in here. This will also give you a closer look at the cave wall structure, basically. Like up there at the top, you can see some peridot, actually. Our sand grains, lots of garnet and peridot and that sort of thing. But then we've got that beautiful, all that is just crystal structure. But let me see if I can take your bounce factor away because we're where we want to be. So if I can prop this bad boy up and take my hand off of it, then we'll be steady on. How's that? And take the exposure bar down because we've got good lighting for now anyway. And there. And let's get closer. And we're seeing, the undeniable structure. You see those lines going up and down. That's our cell structure there. And then let me see if I can get this pivoted around. I want to draw your attention to the center. There. Oh, gosh. And you can see the matrix there, completely different. And so at the very bottom of your screen, you can see the different, like the cell kind of, or rather the sandstone matrix that is very large grained actually. And what is this in here? That little guy right in the center. Bring the exposure bar back. What are we looking at? Karen, what are we looking at? Right in the center. That. And we're going to bring the exposure up as we go in. See that? Closer. It's kind of cool to see the these little sand grains along next door to it. Okay. So I'm trying not to get that too bouncy for you. I know there's a little bit of movement, but can you guys see what we're looking at there? Right in the middle? Does anybody have a guess as to what that is? It looks like it has diamonds. Yes, definitely. And a vert that got broken, that stringy part looks like, yes, definitely. It definitely has that feeling to it, Lisa. It's kind of a long linear bone, so I'm not entirely sure what, is it's a little too linear for a vert unless, I do some if I do some prepping, I might be able to find that it goes down farther. But does anybody have a guess as to what we're looking at there? This guy. Can you see it? Now, it's not the best lighting, and we are in a crevasse, and that crevasse is at like 40x right now. And it looks like a rose up there. I know, you gotta love the crystal. Each grain of sand is its own piece of artwork. Seriously, if like I look at sand for hours and hours and hours. And we did have a peridot back earlier on the cave wall. I'll see if I can find it. Okay, so, oh, yes, exactly, Lisa, something like a thigh bone, exactly. So, can you guys see my cursor? Am I enabled on the cursor? Give me a 5 by 5 or a yes if you can see me like cruising around and circling and doing corkscrews around here. So what we're looking at in my opinion, and I'm going to bring parts of this into focus. So we're going to, change the field of view here and kind of cruise past the field of view on this little structure. And so I'm going to bring the front of it on the left-hand side in a little bit better focus. Okay, cool. Is right here is the clasp of a bivalve. Clasp, bottom, seam, clasp, top. And so it's all being held together. Here's the lips of the bivalve. And so I'm going to root this bad boy out if I can. This might be like a little fossil bivalve that also could be completely agatized in perfect condition, just hanging out here in this bone. Got lodged when there was the death plate happening, when the concretion happened. But I could not believe this little guy. When I saw it, I was just like, "Are you even kidding me?" So are you guys seeing now what I'm pointing out? And because of its light color, I think it's agatized. And it would be fibrous looking because all of those little all of the little like ridges to the shell would be pretty dang small considering that this bad boy is at 40x already. It's tiny. And so I just wanted to share that with you, and that's actually one of the reasons why the video was delayed is I ran across this guy and I was like, it would be cool before I present the video to maybe, get the shots of this in situ and then root it out and we'll see. It could be a seed. It could be a lot of different things, but that clasp right there, really made me feel like, whoa, and it's the right shape to be a bivalve. If this is a little agatized bivalve from the era of this here bone, wouldn't that be wild? And it looks like there's something else over there to the left too, but it's a little bit less regular, so it might not be the same. But there you get some different lighting on that now. It looks like it's translucent, like it is agatized. And if that's what that is, man, I'm going to flip out. I'm just telling you right now. That will just make my day. And so I'm going to cruise out just a little bit more. Whoa. Because we wanted to, whoops. And I need to work with the exposure, but yeah, you're getting a good look at it now since it's overexposed. That is helping a lot. And bring that back in though, so that we don't completely overexpose. And where was that peridot? There we go. It's like right in the exposure bar. Come back. Oh my gosh. Doesn't want to. Okay. So right in the exposure bar, there is a grain of salt or sand. And look at how beautiful. Isn't that just beautiful? And then all of these crystals of the permineralization around this bone, just dark, like what bone material usually looks like. And so how amazing is that? Whoa, sorry. I'm obviously holding it again. And so there's a little look for you guys. Just kind of neat. Seed is possible. But yeah, I think there's a lot more possibility of it being a wee shell. Basically we're into the size of the foraminifera at this point. And so that very possibly could be like a perfect little forum sitting there waiting for us to discover it. Because they do come that big. And so that would be freaking amazing. And so, yeah, let's do that. Oh my gosh, my hand. And so, thank you guys for having a look at that. And hey, Kirk is in the house. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. And Doug, Dr. Karen. Well, we're working on it. It's kind of cool. Those of you who watch Mam Lambo, he's going after another degree, I believe, and it would be really neat to do something like that. Actually, at some point, it'd be nice to officialize some of the knowledge, but then at the same time we're having a good time just doing what it is that we're doing, so it's all good. And little red jumping spider back on that crack. Yeah, hopefully you guys weren't offended by my little jumping spider that was helping me in the studio. That was super fun. And yeah, so we're definitely going to be discovering what that in the crevasse is. So stay tuned. That will happen this weekend. And so in real time, you guys don't have to wait very long. I'm hopefully going to get in there and pick that out like within the next 24 hours and get that video released maybe sometime tomorrow and like have the work party. At the very latest, it would be sometime on Sunday and before or after the Julie and Brian show. Get that all fund up for you guys to see. And so I think that that was longer than I thought we were going to go. I actually have more to show you, but we can do that during the work party or after the premiere. There's a really cool bone that I found that has some death plate around it with some really nicely agatized shells just in the death plate. And so we can have a look at that soon also. And so Julie and Brian will be going on at 6 p.m. on Sunday. That is Mountain Standard Time. And so for all of you guys over here on the West, that's an hour earlier, so 5 o'clock. So usually I like to go on after they're done, if it's going to be an evening show. And so you can watch out for that. If I get itchy and have to share it before that, then it'll be tomorrow or before their situation at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. If anybody else has got some stuff going on this weekend, definitely post it up in the chat right now or post it up over there on the Discord. We always love seeing what is going on around the way. A lot of times I check it like it's like the TV guide or something like that. It's better than the TV guide. I'm always interested to see who's going live. And now that we're here into the holidays, I think a lot of people, even though we've got a lot of things going on, like events and gatherings and that sort of thing, um, there's that time in between where you're like, gosh, it sure would be nice to hang out with some rock people. And so gather around, have your live streams, share your rocks that you're getting for Christmas or any of the stuff. And you know what? If it's a really good time. This time of year can be, like I said, kind of hard for some people. Check in on some people. If you haven't heard from them for a little bit, then give them a nudge, say hello, invite them to a live stream or whatever. It's the most special time of the year for some, and then for some people it's one of the hardest. And so embrace everyone, make them feel welcome, and spread some of this wonderful rock community love around. You guys are all the absolute best. It's unreal that we have such a neat group of people here. And so where did I put my Steinkerns? Steinkerns, everybody. Really appreciate you. And you're welcome. We've got some thank yous and all this stuff. Have a great weekend. Uh, don't let the craziness of the holiday parking lots and all of the spending and stuff like that get to you. Know that there's a safe haven. There's there's stuff that is as solid as a rock to fall back on. And that's, your rocks and this wonderful rock community. So Steinkerns to you. May you stay healthy and have the merriment of this season and all of its blessings upon you. And stop for a moment and look at how beautiful all these things are. I was serious about highlighting some of those things. And so if you want to take like a short video of you among your surroundings for Christmas and share it, I'll make a video. And so I'll go ahead and put something in the general chat over in the Discord. And you don't have to be part of the Discord to do it. You could just send me a link via email, ozone fine art at, wait, it's ozone 669 at gmail.com is actually the email address. That used to be my land address for the Ozone Fine Art Gallery. And thank you, Rufotris and Allison and Amber and Lisa, of course, and Ken and Soul. Like, you guys were the superstars, and Squirrel was a superstar for lending us these beautiful rocks to have a look at. I mean, none of these are really ours. They'll all go back to the earth at some point. And so they're all sort of loners in a way. We get to play with them. Mr. Turtle Montana, thank you so much for coming. And Melissa, of course, and Patricia and Tiger Eye. Whoa, there's a fly. Tiger Eye, thank you so much for coming. I didn't see you earlier. Happy holidays to all of you. And I'm going to Ryan is here too. I'm going to send you guys out with the credits. We're going to walk on the beach together. Some of this footage is going to be in the video upcoming, but I thought I'd give you a little preview. Not updated on the names, but that'll happen very, very soon. And so again, stay warm. We love you. Thank you so much for everything that you do and hanging out with us tonight. We'll see you over the weekend. Cheers, and here we go. Are we alive, everybody? Are you here? Am I here? And we can't hear me. Let's start over again. Are you here? Am I here? And we can't hear me. Let's start over again.